I call it a controversy because it feels like every few weeks we have to have some story in one of these articles written about how some famous old actress is taking back her power and sticking it to the man by getting naked in front of a camera.
I feel like she's constantly with her tits out smoking something.
Is that true? I mean, I don't know. She's drinking a glass of wine.
Yeah, this is a picture of Halle Berry that she posted on Saturday, and she's on a balcony, naked. She's not super visible, and she's drinking a glass of wine, and she captioned it, "I do what I want to do."
The caption is the worst part. I'm going to put the picture
emoji.
I'm putting the picture up on screen real quick there, just for a second.
It's pretty tame.
Yes.
If you consider it compared to the rest of the things available on social media, but obviously the responses to this were all just like girl bossery, hive mind stuff. Just go off,
did anybody
queen.
Stop and just say like, have you ever wondered about whether, American values require you to pose like this in a way that tells society that you are in fact an independent woman, and maybe to the contrary, you could have posted yourself in a tastefully done outfit instead? Like, nobody asks the question, like, do you need to do this once you hit a certain age?
Yeah.
Dude, my fiance is a dead-ass Daily Wire propagandist now.
What does this mean?
Like, she saw What is a Woman?
Now she's like, I love it.
Dude, radicalized her.
Yes. She can't wrap her head around people not being able to define women. She's like, this is...
Halle Berry, what is a woman? Tell us. And a lot of people were commenting like, this is how I want to be when I'm in my 50s, because Halle Berry is 56, and they're like saying, I'm putting this on my vision board, like this is how I want my future to look.
She's gorgeous. And it's still like, gorgeous. She's absolutely gorgeous.
If you're talking like, I want to look as youthful and fit as Halle Berry.
Everyone's going to make that mistake at least once. I made it, you made it, Dane might make it.
In my 50s, then I understand if it's about looks.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how a woman posing naked and drinking wine is like the epitome of like the human experience for
Standards are low.
It also makes me think of like how I really do believe there was like a coordinated like Instagram. This is one of my conspiracy theories. It's like the Instagram desire to make wine aunts cool, where all you'd see in like when you're scrolling is things about like wine aunts being cool. Like, she comes every few months to visit. Well, she's just came back from traveling overseas. Well,
in order to be a wine aunt, you are relying on somebody else to have a family, so that you can feel like you're superior to them.
Dude, in the power rankings.
Also, what the hell is a vision board? I don't know what the hell a vision board is.
Oh, that's next level white woman. I don't think you're ready for that.
Is that like Pinterest?
Well, Pinterest is just a digital vision board, but you get like a piece of poster board and you clip out things from magazines and paste them on. It's like, you're envisioning what you want in your future.
Okay.
Imagine.
It's like a manifestation thing.
But with...
The secret.
So you're doing like a show and tell project for yourself.
Yeah.
Of things that you're manifesting.
Yeah.
What are you guys' thoughts on manifest?
It's always like...
Is manifesting real?
It's always mega rich celebrities who think that manifestation is real. Or like, it's always the most hardworking people.
I manifested it.
Merited, earned success that we'll call it manifestation. It's not.
It's just you worked hard and you got what you
Obviously,
wanted.
having a positive mindset helps.
No, I mean, I believe in the power of envisioning a goal, and once you've envisioned it, that is how you make it happen.
JWT6577 says, I feel very supportive of Halle Berry being naked. Look, my friend, I got no problem with it either. I just wonder, why is it always like these trade magazines that are like, this is the only way they can like come into their womanhood as they get older is by posing naked. Like,
especially because she has already had a family.
And who's pushing back on this other than Mary and in this podcast? A
lot of people were pushing.
Are
back.
Are they saying like?
I won't say nobody was pushing back on it. This one tweet quote tweeted her and said, imagine being in your 50s, still posting nudes for attention in menopause when you should be chilling with the grandkids. Aging with dignity is no longer a thing. And that's true. That's true.
Well, yeah, it's not really.
I don't think it's dignified for anyone in any stage of their life to be posting nudes for attention.
Yeah,
I
fair.
think that's undignified for anyone. But I get that, especially once you are technically past your physical prime, you should be like reeling it back, especially like how much you want to be in the public eye, and start considering the things that are most important in life, which are not how you look. It's about your relationships, especially for women, like having a family, having a larger community that you're connected to, not just being hot.
I just think it's kind of incredible that the liberal hive mind has pigeonholed women's success to them being naked.
Yeah, that's really what I see in this.
It's like, study and show your tits.
Right.
Explain that further.
I mean, from what I can tell, and again, everyone understand that I have a master's, thus I am an ascending being. That I'm currently, I'm not even sitting, I'm levitating. So apparently, like, the only ways that women can achieve greatness and nirvana is to have millions in debt for a degree or being naked on the internet.
There's no middle ground there. Can't be married anymore.
Just get your bag, queen. Well,
that is the middle ground.
I don't think she's married any. I don't know.
Or was she ever married?
She's been married.
I only know that she has children.
But in general, like when I think of it, it's like, what is it? Where do they go as a society if that's what we want from women?
When I think about it,
what do we ask men? Then what do we want from men?
Well, I've been thinking about that, and like if we're saying like feminism is incentivizing women to act like the worst men on the planet, then that just means nobody is going to pick up the slack. This isn't about like reversing gender roles so that women can occupy the roles that were traditionally occupied by men. This is just so that nobody can take responsibility for anything, and then we all end up turning into neutered, amorphous blobs with no defining features, either material or spiritual.
I was thinking about what you said because, like, I also see, like, we were talking about Ryan Gosling. Was he too old to play Ken in Barbie? Or even Jake Gyllenhaal, just he's making the Roadhouse remake, and they shot a scene at a UFC fight a couple weeks, or a UFC weigh-in a couple weeks ago. I mean, those guys are still being treated like, you know, whatever passes for sex symbols for men in Hollywood these days, right? I mean,
they're taking their daily doses of children's blood. They look great.
Or they've got their HGH. I have no idea.
Either or.
But it's like, but it's like you said, it's obviously different for men and women because women's bodies are valued in a different way than a man's is. That's very true.
Right.
So I don't know for her, like, is this just the type of thing where she doesn't have kids in the house anymore, so she's a little bit detached? Would she have done it if there were still kids in the house? Then it might be more awkward to me.
I feel like whether you've got kids or not, there are always better things to do with your day than posting nudes for attention on social media.
Literally anything.
Celebrities get away with doing things like this because, you know, they have more control over their visibility to the public than everyone else, but
it means
I still find it equally embarrassing when it's a celebrity or just a random person that does this.
I think I know why it's happening more though. It's because movie stars and kind of television actors, so their appearances to the public are usually limited to new projects. You're either in a new movie, new show, new whatever.
Yeah.
And so they are competing with the Logan Pauls of the world that are constantly in your face, daily interactions.
And are much better at that type of promotion because it's how they built their businesses.
Right. And, you know, so they're in your life daily and you know about them more and they're kind of more humanized towards you.
Yep.
So the only way that celebrities can achieve this next level, you know, type of awareness is always through doing salacious stuff.
See, but when I see this makes me think more of like the old magazine covers of old, right? It's like it's more like she's trying to reenact, you know, the spicy or the salacious magazine covers she would have been in back in the day, less so. Like Logan Paul doesn't need to be shirtless. What's the female version of Logan Paul? I guess they might need to be shirtless. Is there a female Logan Paul? I need to know.
No, but
there must be.
Is there like some type of chat? Let me know. Is there a female analog to Logan Paul?
Probably Amaranth.
Okay.
I'm not even.
Okay. But then she does kind of need to be shirtless to be relevant in a way.
Or
Not
at least
shirtless,
if you don't have any substance to your personality and you don't have any interesting ideas,
But actors aren't really paid. Like actors don't need to have substantive personalities.
No.
They need to be good at their job.
Usually,
if anything, I want them to have less distinct personalities.
If you think about it,
annoying.
Margot Robbie, what do you know about her as a person?
Nothing.
Like, what do you know about her personality?
Literally
Not
nothing.
much. But there are other actors and actresses that sell themselves solely on being a personality, and they play themselves in things.
But this girl was the ultimate psyop in that regard. The Hunger Games girl.
Jennifer Lawrence, yeah.
Yeah, she used to be like, oh my god, I love chasing by girls and drinking beer with the boys.
Yeah.
And then now
she's girl.
She literally was like that for the longest time.
And now she's like, I'm disgusted by my Republican family.
And then went back on it and is like, now I spam my parents with articles about
how
Roe v.
bad
Wade
Donald Trump is in Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, I don't know.
Time.
Something that just breaks their brains sometimes.
It's interesting because I do wonder for somebody like her, like, is there a certain amount of time where they're
like Halle Berry?
Halle Berry, yes, where they've reached a certain level of success. Somebody mentioned the movie Swordfish in the chat earlier. Yes, you are correct.
Where she shows her tits.
Yeah. Look, it's like half art nerd, half I need attention, and what you end up with is this type of thing, and it's just a weird kind of removal from society. Like normal people don't do this. Like you don't go into work, you don't work in an office building and go into work and then have like Christine the local, you got a $20 one there? $22 one.
Oh, that's Canadian money.
It's Canadian
Does
money.
it add
Frostback money.
We'll estimate it. Yeah. Pharos said, longtime listener, first time watching live. Love from the province above your home state, Brett. I've been to Red Lake Falls multiple times in Minnesota. Lord of the Rings over Harry Potter, and I shudder at the thought of them remaking them.
They shouldn't remake either of them, sadly.
For the record, we gave this guy a freebie. That's $16.29.
Oh,
okay.
Get that silly currency. I mean, get it in here, but
like send more.
Then I'm only answering half the question.
You need to send 20.
Yeah, we're not addressing the part about Red Lake Falls. How about that?
Yeah, we'll leave it alone. I've got no opinion.
27 of your currency, sir.
So I want to know what you guys think of this clapback that Halle Berry posted. She said, "Did you guys know the heart of a shrimp is located in its head?" I'm sorry, what?
Literally, what does that mean?
What does that
She
even
quote
mean?
tweeted the guy that said that about her posting news for attention.
I don't even get it. What is the point of it? It's like
I have no clue.
It's like that David Hogg tweet from the weekend about gun control that made no sense whatsoever.
Wait, what?
He's like, when they were talking about like the only way to stop gun violence is with a good guy with a gun. He's like, yeah, well, why don't we fight fires with flamethrowers then?
Is it some kind of like phallic reference?
Hi, David Hogg.
I don't get it.
I have no idea.
But maybe she's just, she's 56. She doesn't really get
Also,
Twitter.
she sent that and like I picture her sending it to like her nephews or her grandkids, and they're like, "Good one, Grandma."
Also, like, I'm not
nice.
saying at all that it's wrong to like want to look good for as long as possible in life. That's something that everyone wants to do. And it takes a lot of work, I'm sure. But
she's
why
still very attractive.
Yeah, why does being attractive later in life though necessitate showing it off in a way that I consider more trashy than classy?
You'd think they would want to go and become more dignified as they get older.
I mean, I don't want to sound like every podcast currently in existence, but a lot of it might be a big dose of cope.
For her?
Coping with aging,
the wall, as they say.
I don't know.
La pared.
I don't know.
For my Latino brothers.
I guess she could be that cognizant of it, but a lot of times I just think like she's like, look, Susan Sarandon's posting half naked photos of herself. Why can't I do that? I'm hotter than Susan Sarandon.
Dude, I'm telling you, the most incredible subreddit I've ever seen is women who used to be hot talking about not being hot anymore. It is honest, guys. I mean, after the show, hey, after the show.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
I feel like if you've built a life that's fulfilling and you have relationships that are meaningful to you and you've taken care of yourself and you have good health, that like not being hot anymore is just, it shouldn't be that world crushing.
They all literally start with saying, I thought that would be enough, but nothing beats being a hot chick.
I think it's also different for people who are in front of the camera. Like that's how they got famous.
No, but this is like moms.
This is
and
ordinary
things.
people.
Yeah. This is.
So if it's hard for that's even better. Like if it's hard for ordinary people, it's got to be even harder for people who live their life in front of a camera and are used to that level of attention.
So that's why I'm saying that she's probably, like, don't you want me in a movie? See, you can see these. I mean, I'm more impressed by like the villa style balcony. That's what I want to talk about.
Is she trying to get roles with this?
I have no.
With her kids?
She's still
done
good
it before.
looking, and
like, remember me?
I liked her in John Wick, and I actually in John Wick 2 or 3 or whichever one it was. But then I also. I liked her in the horrible movie Moonfall, which was one of the worst, best movies ever. It makes no sense. It's extremely stupid. And she fits perfectly in that movie. She does a great job of, doing a stupid movie that doesn't make any sense. She can still act.
I wonder how Halle Berry feels about the fact that Halle Bailey exists and is like taking so many Google searches away from her.
I can already picture in like 20 years when Halle Bailey has to give her speech about getting older, and she's like, and Halle Berry sat me down and she said, "Listen, Halle, you're gonna get old one day.
Pop him out.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to learn to deal with it." And then they can go on tour as the Halles.
The Halles.
They can do that.
I do think that Halle Berry at her peak is higher than Halle Bailey at her peak.
Isn't she the first female Oscar winner? No, wait, the first black female Oscar winner?
She also won a Razzie for Catwoman, which nobody liked. But
cinematic masterpiece.
But she went and picked it up in person. That was always a big deal that she went and picked it up. So all right.
Yeah.
All right. So I actually do want to ask you your final thoughts on this, because we see stories like this a lot. We see stories from older women, and they always phrase it in the language of like taking back their power or proving that age is just a number. And do you think that really is at the end of the day just a huge cope?
For Hollywood, it's different.
Like, I actually feel like it would be more empowering for a regular woman to do it than a Hollywood person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
But also, like, women in Hollywood have more resources to stay hot than anyone else. So trainers, all the things, and then Kim Kardashian and her army of photo retouchers. It's these people who think that age isn't just a number because they're obsessed with how old they are, and then in relation to that, how they look. So
for sure,
I think currently the biggest pandemic in the world is women having to sacrifice their dignity for a bunch of reasons.
At a time when we're constantly having to be led under the delusion of like, but we're empowering women at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's always weird when we have to talk about how we're both simultaneously more deviant and more puritanical than we've ever been, somehow coinciding at the same time. It's very weird. Makes no sense.
Puritanism presupposes depravity to oppose, right?
Yeah. Makes no sense. Like, but it's also, it's like, it depends on where you're looking for your information. If all go for it.
Hayden75 said, Mary, I think you hit it. People are searching Halle Berry Little Mermaid, and it hit her that she wasn't relevant enough with Halle Bailey being around. Yeah, and then she like posts this coping nude selfie.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media, and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.